Hi friends, I'm Himali Patel, working as a senior front-end engineer at Multidots. In this video, I'm excited to share some practical insight and tips that help me while working as a front-end engineer with WordPress. So, as a front-end engineer working with the WordPress almost daily, and one question I often get from peers or junior dev is which builder do you use to design WordPress websites? Or sometimes they even say that why don't you use the Elementor or we can say Divi or many page builders like WP Baker, etc. So today I am here to share that why many front-end developers avoid the page builders, what they use instead, and why it matters. Especially if you care about clean code performance and full control. So let's begin my experience with page builders. First of all, I will give the outline that what was my experience with the page builders, then what I use instead of that and when the page builder don't make sense. I'm not telling you that a page builder is not a good option, or I'm not suggesting that we don't want to use the page builders, right? But when the page builder don't make the sense, and what is the real benefit of the code first workflow, and why this statements always. Okay, so first of all, let's begin with the what what is the my experience with the page builders. So for the sake of the time, I'm not going to go over the every page builders and the single aspects of that page builders. But the way I structure the video is I'm going to give you the tour and demo of the user interface for Elementor and the simple and best approach for building websites using the WordPress. Okay, so first of all, let me show you that. So this is the demo site in which I have installed the plugin of the Elementor and just activate that one. Okay, so if you say then we have a new tab option of the Elementor in which they have many options, home settings. So then if we want to need the role managers, whatever, if we want to upload our custom fonts or icons, or if we want to write the custom CSS code and all, we can manage from the Elementor. Oh, yeah. But the main pain point is that they don't give all of the options like in the free version. We need to purchase that pro version. Okay. So first of all, that the I'm trying to say that what the problems I'm facing while using the page builders, and rather than using the page builder, why I follow the different approach while working with the WordPress sites. So first of all, the page builders have the performance issue. We can say that it has, if we see the code, then on the front side while working, and then we will see that a lots of the bloated HTML, CSS, JS in the DOM. Okay, so let's begin with the simple sample page, right? So if we have any design and we want to design it using the Elementor, once we activate the Elementor plugin, then we will have an option to edit with the Elementor. I will say that I have worked with the Elementor, Divi, pretty much all the big builders out there. And yes, there is a super easy, like just they are super easy to get started with just drag and drop. If you want to add the heading, then just drag and drop over here. You can remove your text, write it on. They have option like from here we can change, or if you want to change, then they have a left hand side sidebar panel from where you can edit the title text. If you want to change the link, then yeah, Also, they are given options to change what the HTML tag you want. And yeah, they also give the styling options. If you want to change the color, typography, alignments, whatever, we can do from here easily. Yeah, they also have given the layout options, whatever layout you want. Like if you want a more margin, padding, whatever, then we can edit it over from here easily. And they also give the options of to adding the CSS classes too. But yeah, if you want to write any custom CSS, then they also give the options of the CSS class. And the second thing, if now, yeah, let's save the changes, yeah, publish the changes. Then the other thing, the pain point that why I don't prefer the page builder is like if you these all changes are saved in the database, so we need to maintain that one or any other one else also make a changes easily, so we can lost our design because they don't have the version controls system over here. So all the data are saved in the database. And yeah, so someone can easily modify our design whatever we did. So we can sometimes it's really hectic when so by mistake if we just drag this block over here and over here, then we need to redesign that whole section. Sometimes it's I don't think that that will be good when as the front end dev you already know that how to design the HTML, CSS, and we can do it that one easily without using the builders too, right? So let's see that if you see this HTML, the simple HTML of the heading tag, then you will see that lots of the different classes, and then this is the just a simple HTML. If we are going to make like a complex any design, UI design, what the client requested, then we need to add like different elements and templates. Also, Elementor gives us a option to add templates over here, which one is the pre-made, already pre-built. It's a pro version. Some will give in the free if we want to build a ready-made website. If we don't have any knowledge, then it's good for that to use it directly. But yeah, so they provides us option to add pages and templates also. They are not all free, we need to that purchase that one. So if as a front end dev, we generally almost we daily have a enterprise level clients and they have their unique designs. So we generally don't prefer the page builders as it becomes a little bit complex for us to write up own CSS and to write up our own CSS, and already the page builder has their own one. So they just bloat all the HTML and CSS and JS and all that were loaded in the on the site according to every blocks. So they make our sites little bit heavier. If we see over here, just a minute. Yeah. See, if we see over here that then Elementor has lots of already the CSS for everything. I mean, for the icons, then for just we have added the heading tag, like heading block, and they have their own CSS for the heading. So if we design the large page or any complex page, then we have a lots of the blocks, and they all have their own CSS, say own style sheets, right? So they all were get link over here, and it will make our page to load heavier. So this is the thing, I can say that performance issue. That's why we generally not prefer to use the page builders. And then, I mean, that there is also, I already told about that version control, that there is a no Git compatibility. So we can't trace what earlier we do if we, by mistake, we override that one. And there is a lack of control, like messy markups and inline styles. All the styles are applied inline. And if we see the HTML, then it looks like a little bit messy. This is just a basic example, so we can't get that much idea. But if we use that many multiple blocks or any other blocks, then you will able to see that one. And yeah, also the all of the blogs are not the free of. So if we want to work with the page builders, then yeah, definitely we maybe need to purchase the paid version, like the pro version. So we will able to get all of the required blocks that we use on the designing the websites. And so that was all the problems with the page builders. So now, as a front-end dev, what approach I follow? First of all, the like a WordPress itself provides the Gutenberg, which is the block editor. What we have already seen, the Elementor, that all blocks also, I mean that are all the blocks. The same way the WordPress also provides the Gutenberg block editor. So let's switch where this for the demo side. Yeah, this is the site where the Elementor is not activated. So first of all, that what I use instead the page builders. So this is the stack what I used like while building the WordPress sites. So first of all, I'm using the Gutenberg block editor. For the styling purpose, I am using the SCSS. Maybe there are many CSS library also. If we want to make your development or design easier, instead of writing a whole of the CS styling by your own, we can use that, like a Bootstrap, Tailwind, many more. Okay, and then we generally prefer to use the custom themes or any of the theme underscore themes that we can directly download from the library. And the build tools like Webpack. And for the version controlling system, we are using the GitHub. So when first of all, I'm not like against of the page builders, that we don't want to use that page builders. I'm not telling that, but when the page builders do make sense. So first of all, when there are any solo creator with a no developer background, or they don't have any idea that how to write the CSS, HTML, or they just have a basic ideas and they want to build up their sites, then they can maybe easily build up with the page builders just by dragging and drop, and the whole site will get ready. And if there is a quick landing pages, they just want to build up their quick sites, or like we have already said that Elementors provides the many of the page templates. So if they want to use that one, and by that they just build their own site without any support. And sometimes, yeah, clients also insist that they want a whole control to change the content or design afterwards, anything. Then, and if they insist more us, then we just prefer the page builders, right? So now the Elementor and Debian aren't the bad. They make the sense in certain cases, which I told. But yeah, for the scalable, fast, and maintainable websites, especially if you are a developer, then I don't recommend relying on that. Then yeah, like on the page builders, right? So let's move to the this tag. Okay. Yeah. So what is the real benefits of the code first workflow? That the stack what we are using is like a Gutenberg editor, SCSS, GitHub, or anybody. compilers, right? And so the real benefits of this workflow is that the sites load faster and rank better. And then the code base is a manageable, clean, and like we can debug it easily. And yeah, we also implement the like a linting and PHP unit test too. So we can make our code more clear and manageable. And yeah, using the Git versioning control system, yeah, we can debug and scale with confidence. Yeah, so if anyone want to go back that further, what by mistake we have done anything, something else, then we can trace it easily. And clients still get a bad visual editing experience just without the bloat. Also, the Gutenberg also giving us the visual editing experience. We can also add our own custom blocks. We can make our own custom blocks like just the page builders using the Gutenberg blocks, and according to the design, like the front wise, we can also manage it or make it same similar in the backend. So yeah, client will also able to have the same visual editor experience. And yeah, so the let's yeah, sorry. Yeah, so the Gutenberg has their own itself many of the blocks, and also the patents the same, whatever many of the patents whatever the page builders also give. So if we see, then yeah, we can use that patents, or we also create the other patents whatever as a per our requirement, our own custom. So I think that's why the front end they try to follow this approach. As if we want to make our own, then we already making many of the more custom Gutenberg blocks, and we can register that over here. So I may after that we will able to use it easily. And yeah, if any there is a complex design, UI design given by the clients, then at that time this is the best approach, as we need to write our own CSS. And so first of all, I will. So this is about backend side from where we can use the Gutenberg blocks, patterns. And if we see on the front side, then yeah, not that much specific CSS or JS will be loading over here, like the block wise everywhere. They are just anchoring the single inline CSS, what we need to anchor through the code. They are just loading in. We can load that one in the single CSS too. And if we want to make or change any of the styling or JS, or if we want to add any other extending the functionality, then also we can add it over here easily. So if we see the HTML and CSS pattern, then also it's a clear HTML in the DOM, which we can easily figure out, or it looks very clear, concise, without bloat. So first of all, yeah, so generally we prefer to use the SCSS. And here is the Webpack config file from where the SCSS is compiled into the CSS file. And just we need to add that CSS or anchor that CSS what we have compiled over here. So if we see, this is the best approach. Like we generally make the assets folder in which all together they stay CSS, JS file, or whatever images, fonts, what we needed, what we needed as the assets in our website. So over here, as CSS, also we make a different folder structure to identify it easily. What according to the role of that, we make the CSS according to the folder structure wise. And yeah, you can see that there is only one. If we see over here, editor, they have a multiple, but only the index CSS, which already consist, I mean, enqueuing or importing the other CSS requires CSS. and that index CSS will compile into the generally one index CSS over here if you see in the CSS file, right? This is the webpack config.js, which is written, which compiles the all JS, CSS fonts and JS into the one folder, the build one, according to the naming convention. Yeah, to compile the SCSS, generally, yeah, these WordPress scripts provide the like Sass loader and SCSS loader inbuilt packages, so we don't require to and we don't require that externally that node module packages. So yeah, this is the just packet.json file in which all that by using this script, so we can generally build and run or compile the CSS and the creative blocks in the local. And so yeah, the benefit of using this, likewise I say, this approach is that we will have clean markup, better performance, and yeah, it's a git friendly, and we can say that it's a future proof, that we already know that where we have done this code. If we want to any extend any functionality, then we know that yeah, we can achieve it easily or not. And we can say that we have already full control over the HTML, CSS. We can achieve it, whatever the design it is, we can do it easily. So there is no blockers, or we can say no hurdles to create any of the layout. And yeah, it's still a user friendly editor. The WordPress already gives us user friendly editor. We can do it whatever design it is. And yeah, I can say that also we can less if we want to implement any optimization on the CSS or any JS to increase our page speed, then yeah, it's a full control in our hand. Whatever we want to do, we can do it easily. And yeah, it is easy to scale and migrate. And yeah, this is the real benefits of a code first workflow rather than the page builders. And yeah, so that's what I think as a front end dev, this is the best approach to work on. Yeah. we, Thank you. Any questions? Thank you so much.